So here we are on a scale, 73,000 pounds, full of dog food. Drive axle 32, trailer axle 29. Trailer axle is moved up far, so it's trying to hold all the load, but it's not. So you guys can see how this all works. Drive. Just gonna pull up right here. So as you can see here, we just pulled up from the scale. This phone is plugged in. That's a scale, you just pull right on it, and you connect with your tablet. You can also do it with the phone app, and it just broadcasts, charges the company, everything, and then just gives you a PDF. You can go inside the building if you want, and they'll print out a copy of the actual weight, certified. So if you get pulled over or something, you can show it to the DOT officer. Here they're saying I got 38,000 pounds grand total of kibbles and bits, Purina dog chow. But yeah, now I'm gonna go talk about how I got my CDL, and we're gonna get back on the road. All right, here we go, back to the interstate.
Continue west. Turn right.
So, how did I get my CDL? And it's 37 degrees out. About an hour ago, it was 32 degrees out. Still heading up to Wichita out of Oklahoma City. Just got my red Powerade out. So thirsty. This driving is so much better. It's so much better than Secaucus, New Jersey, Elizabeth, New Jersey,
Continue on I-35
Harbor Street, downtown Boston. Everything's wide out, flat out, and wide open here. No problems whatsoever making turns. Everything's concrete. 4-foot shoulder. So much better. Need truck routes out here, not truck routes in the Northeast. It's a nightmare up there. Washington, D.C., Baltimore, Trent, Philadelphia. Not made for big trucks. Nowhere to park. So, 2019, I'm up fracking in Williston, North Dakota, and I had to get my CDL. Co-workers like, I know a guy. Like, you know a guy? Yeah, I know a guy that get you your CDL in a week for $750. So I'm like, man, that's a pretty good deal. That sounds like the way to go. At the time, everyone else is a 3-month course charging like $2,000. This guy, I think his name's Terry, is in Minot, North Dakota, about, I think it was an hour and a half from Williston. So, I call this guy up. He says, oh yeah, what experience you got, blah, 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 blah. All I know how to do is drive a car with a manual transmission. Never driven a truck before. This guy's going to teach me in 3 days how to drive a semi, which was not 53 feet long. The trailer he had was, I think, 35 foot. It was a short trailer. Shorter trailers, if you don't know, when you're backing up, twist a lot harder. They twist a lot faster. When you make an adjustment backing up, the trailer takes a lot faster. It's almost like it's in slow motion with the big trailer that I have now. So I drive over to Minot. What I thought was going to take a week, 2 weeks, there was 5 of us. So he's doing these classes, making buku bucks, cash only. Show up, give him, I think I gave him half the payment the first day, the other half of the payment the second day. I show up, there's two other guys. This stuff started at 5:30 in the morning and went till sundown, whatever that was. So it was like a 12-hour day. The other guy I'm working with, or we're training with, he's driven tractors before. He knew the deal. He worked on a farm, and I think he ended up going back working on a farm, driving a tractor with apples or some crap. So he knew what he was doing. The second guy that I was training with, the second day, got tossed. He didn't get tossed. He went from the 3-day program to the 2-week program after seeing how bad he drove. The instructor said it's going to take a lot longer. So basically, you got there and you started work immediately. He gave you the books, he gave you the route, he told you everything, like literally step by step by step, that the DOT trainer, the test person that is going to give you the test, what exactly they're going to do, what they're going to ask. And this guy is freaking awesome. He has his whole system down to a science. He tells you what to do exactly to get through the test, and then he tells you 10 times more. So if you have any issues, if the instructor changes the procedures when they're giving you the test, you have more than enough information to give the tester. I don't know what the hell, the DOT test person. So 12 hours goes by the first day. He sees how we drive. He sees that we can shift. He sees that we can learn. So you got to do the whole pre-trip thing. You got to do the air brake test. You got to know the truck. You got to know the parts on the truck. You got to know what you're looking at when you do the pre-trip. This is all new to me. This is my first time doing any of this. I never even looked under the hood of a truck before. So he takes us to the actual location they're doing the DOT tests at. But they're only doing the DOT test at that location on like every other weekend or something like that. Going to Arlington, Texas after this drop in Kansas City. Alright, so he takes us to the CDL test location and begins giving us the test and instructing us how to take the test, what to do, how to do it. So I'm backing up the truck on the straight backing. Then we had to do the alley docking. I think there was one other part in that lot that we had to do. Maybe it was like parallel parking. I think it was parallel parking. It was like backing and sliding off to the right into between the cones. It was all cones, and you could hit the cones. I think once you took a couple points off. So the next day we do it again. I cannot do the alley dock. I cannot back this trailer into the alley dock. I did it like 10 times. Could not do it. I would get partially into the dock, which was just cones, and then when I do the pull-up to get myself in a better position to do the finishing move back straight in, I always wanted to pull up to the right because my senses told me I'm facing at an angle. I've backed in so much I can't back up anymore without hitting the cone. Pull up to the right, so I go straight and then straight back in. there's not enough room to pull up to the right, which has taken me 4 years to realize. And so you just had to pull up straight, kind of like almost straight to the angle that you're already at the diagonal, and then just readjust as you were going back. The adjustments were made going back, not forward. This took up most of my second day because I sucked so bad at it. The ending of the second day was driving the actual course, the actual route that the DOT officer takes you on, or officer or test person takes you on. So my shifting is not that great. Third gear in this truck that he has does not go into third gear. You gotta baby it. You also had to stop on hills in the city of Minot at traffic lights. It was city driving, a small section of it. I stole the truck right in the middle of the intersection on a light turn green. I was told that the truck would just go when I let off the brake after I put it in gear, under its own power because it's such a powerful truck. Well, apparently on a hill that's not true. You got to give it a little bit of gas. So I stalled it. Now I'm getting nervous. Third day test, that's it. Training's over. Tomorrow you're going to do tests. I think he gave us a little bit of practice in the morning. I can't really remember. It's 5 years ago, 6 years ago. Paid my $750 already, whether I pass or not. Our instructor goes, I've never had anyone fail this test, so don't screw me over. So now the pressure is really on. This is day 3. Here we go, take the test. The instructor's a really cool guy. Not the instructor, both are cool guys. The instructor's a cool guy. It actually got to the point where he was so upset with me, the instructor, the day before the test, he started yelling at me. He was literally yelling at me in the truck because I wasn't listening, and I was freaking out. So we go down to the DOT, we park nice, so everything's smooth. You're going to just pull out of the DOT, go down to the backing course, which we've been practicing on. Everything's set up perfectly for us. Take the turns wide. DOT instructor, the DOT test person comes out. Real nice guy, cool guy. Wants everyone to pass, says we need more drivers in North Dakota. Okay, cool. Very relaxed. Makes you do the air brake test and everything right there in the DOT parking lot. They said if you screw up this one part, you fail. So, past that. Now my nerves really get crazy. We're getting to the backing phase. All I had to do during the practice, I backed up the truck fine between the cones. During the actual test, I freaking start backing up the truck. This is the first test now in the yard. I can't back the truck up straight. It's going back and forth, back and forth. I back halfway through the cones. About to hit the cone. I've backed up off course, and I do my first pull-up. I don't remember. You get 2 pull-ups or just 1 pull-up. Well, I pulled up, then I backed up, then I hit the cone. Now I'm crapping my pants. Now my nerves that were already through the roof are crazy. They're crazy now. Now I'm nervous, and the more nervous I get, the worse I get. So I back up, hit the cones, pull up again, back up, finally get it done. That wasn't even the problem. The problem was the alley docking. I do the parallel parking thing, all right. Then he lined us up, tells me the instructions for the alley docking, just like we practiced. Little do I know, the instructor who said he wasn't going to be around is across the street in the parking lot of like a truck stop on the other side of the road, or like a diner. I can't remember what was over there. And he's watching this whole thing. I'll tell you what, during the practice and training, I never successfully was able to do the alley dock. I always got it close, but I never got it in there. During the test, I was so happy. I did backing, 90 degree into the alley, 1 pull-up correction, and then I backed it right in, stopped right on the line, perfect. Now my nerves went from a 9 out of 10 nervous breakdown. After I did that, I came down to like a 5. I was like, all right, we're good. We're good. Now I just got to drive the course around, or the loop around town, around Minot, and we're done. Woo! So I get in a truck, drive around Minot. I'm going like 10 miles per hour under the speed limit. Had to do the emergency pull over, or what to do if you get, flat tire, have to pull over an emergency. Do that, fine. Pull up to the traffic light where I had stalled previously. Need to give it a little gas, do that, fine. Skip the gear, making a left turn at the very final end of it. That's alright. The instructor didn't seem to mind. The truck, he knew that he's been in that truck 100 times, not the instructor, the test guy, the test giver, and he knew that third gear was messed up. He said it after I screwed it up. So, kind of gave me that one. And that was it. 3 days. 3 days, never driving a truck. Freaking most stressful thing I ever done in my life was that. And thank God to those two guys. Yeah, man. I was like jumping. I was so happy after I got the CDL that day. The other guy, I forget his name. I want to say his name is Gary, who was the farm truck driver. He was impressed. He was like, damn, man. He was like, can't believe you did that. I was like, woo! Fucking crazy. Oh, man. So, I always want to get my money back for investing my $750. So, first week of driving, for second week of testing, second week of training with Schneider, I got my $750 back. Because the training, they paid you $10 an hour. So, 2 weeks, I made my money back on my CDL. Now I'm making some more money driving to Wichita, Kansas, and then I guess tomorrow, Arlington, Texas. So that is my story of how I got my CDL. Enjoy the rest of your day, everybody.